Hello, and welcome to Lessons from Life. Today, I want to share a powerful story called I Chose the Poor Mechanic Instead of a Millionaire. This story is perfect for improving your English listening and speaking skills. Let's begin. My name is Rachel. I am 34 years old. Today, I live in a small rented house on the edge of town, with my husband and our 2 children. Life is not easy. Sometimes we count every dollar before going to the grocery store. Sometimes we postpone paying bills because there is simply not enough money. But despite all our struggles, I sleep peacefully every night. Why? Because I know I married a man who truly loves me. His name is Ethan. 10 years ago, everyone told me not to marry him. Back then, Ethan worked in a small auto repair shop. His clothes were always covered with grease. His hands were rough from hard work. He didn't own a car. He didn't own a house. He barely earned enough to support himself. Meanwhile, another man wanted to marry me. His name was Victor. Victor was rich, successful, and respected. He owned several businesses. He drove luxury cars. He could buy almost anything he wanted. My parents loved him. My friends admired him. Everyone expected me to marry Victor. Everyone except me. Because while Victor gave me expensive gifts, Ethan gave me something money could never buy. He gave me peace. Whenever I felt afraid, Ethan listened. Whenever I felt sad, Ethan stayed beside me. He never tried to impress me. He simply cared about me. One evening, Victor proposed. The restaurant was beautiful. There were flowers everywhere. People clapped when he opened a small box containing a diamond ring. "Rachel," he said, "marry me and I will give you the world." Everyone waited for my answer, but my heart was confused. That night, I met Ethan near the repair shop. He noticed I was upset. "What's wrong?" he asked. I told him everything. Then I asked him a question. "If you were me, what would you do?" Ethan looked down for a moment. Then he smiled sadly. "If you love him, marry him," he said. I stared at him. "And if I don't?" I asked. Ethan looked directly into my eyes. "Then don't spend your life pretending." Those words changed everything. A week later, I returned Victor's ring. People called me foolish. Some even called me crazy. But I followed my heart. 6 months later, Ethan and I got married. The first few years were wonderful. We had very little money, but we laughed a lot. Then reality arrived. Bills increased. Rent increased. Our children were born. Unexpected expenses appeared every month. Sometimes we argued about money. Sometimes we worried about the future. But Ethan never stopped working. Never. He often worked 12 or 14 hours a day, and no matter how tired he was, he always came home with a smile for the children. Then, something unexpected happened. Last month, I attended a business conference for freelance designers, and there, after 10 years, I saw Victor again. He looked successful as ever. Expensive suit, luxury watch, confident smile. When he saw me, he seemed surprised. "Rachel?" he said. We talked for a while. Then he asked about my life. I told him the truth. I told him about our struggles. I told him about Ethan. I told him about the children. Victor listened quietly. Then he handed me a card. "I need a creative director for my company," he said. "The position pays $180,000 a year." My heart nearly stopped. That amount of money could change everything. Victor looked at me carefully. "The offer is yours if you want it." That night, I sat alone in the kitchen staring at the card. One decision could transform our lives. No more debt. No more stress. No more worrying about bills. But there was one problem. Victor wasn't just a businessman. He was the man I almost married, the man who once loved me deeply. As I sat there thinking, Ethan entered the kitchen. He noticed my worried expression immediately. Without asking questions, he made me a cup of tea. That was always his way. He cared first, he questioned later. Then he surprised me. He placed a small envelope on the table. "What is this?" I asked. Ethan smiled. "Open it." Inside were tickets, family tickets, to the mountains, a weekend vacation, the first family trip we had planned in years. My eyes filled with tears. "How did you afford this?" I asked. Ethan looked embarrassed. "I've been saving little by little for almost 2 years. I couldn't speak. 2 years. 2 years of sacrifice, just to make his family happy. Then Ethan looked down. "I know life hasn't been easy," he said quietly. "I know I can't give you everything." His voice trembled. "But every day I wake up trying to become a better husband and father." At that moment, something became clear. Victor could give me comfort, but Ethan gave me himself every single day. The next morning, I called Victor. I thanked him for the opportunity, and I accepted the job. But before he could misunderstand, I said something important. I am accepting because of my family. There was silence. Then Victor laughed softly. I already knew that. Over the next year, life improved. The new job helped us pay our debts. Ethan eventually opened a small repair business of his own. Things worked perfect, but they were better, much better. Then one afternoon, Victor called again. During our conversation, he admitted something surprising. I recommended Ethan to several investors, he said. I was shocked. You did what? Victor laughed. I wanted to help. Why? I asked. His answer stayed with me forever. Because real love is wanting someone to be happy even when they don't choose you. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then I thanked him. Not just for helping us, but for becoming the kind of man who could let go. That evening, I told Ethan everything. He listened quietly. Then he nodded. Victor must have cared about you very much, he said. I smiled. Maybe. Ethan squeezed my hand. And in that moment, I realized something important. Money can make life easier, but love makes life meaningful. And if I had to choose again, I would still choose Ethan, every single time. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more English stories and listening practice. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next story.